How are you doing, my friend? Stay tuned if you're frustrated because your limiting beliefs are preventing you from reaching your goals. Because today, I will walk you through the 5-step process for crushing a limiting belief so that you can become unstuck and be free from frustration. Have you ever heard the expression, we are the product of our habits? That's right. Most of the time, we are on autopilot. That is when you got home without remembering how you got there. And that is when you forget if you've locked the door because you are so used to doing something and you automatically do it without thinking. Or say, bless you after someone sneezes, or say, excuse me after you sneeze. Right? So these are all habits, and these habits pretty much guide our action and behavior. According to the dictionary Merriam-Webster, a habit is an acquired mode of behavior that has become nearly or completely involuntary. It's like when you flip a switch, when you flip the light switch, the light turns on. Or you insert the car key in your ignition, and in some auto, of course, you can just press a button. And when you turn the key or press the button, the engine start running. Okay, because they are designed and engineered in such a way that when something happens, like you flip the light switch, something else happens. The light turns on. You see, we actually function in a very similar way. We sweat when it's warm, we put on a sweater when it's cold, we sneeze when some dust get into our nose. We breathe, we blink, and all the functioning that keeps us alive are all done on that unconscious level. And besides those basic physiological functionings, the unconscious mind, which is the mind that we don't have to put a lot of effort into, has a very important task, which is to protect us from experiencing any negative emotions or pain. I always use the example of someone got bitten by a dog very, very young age, that the unconscious mind might start believing dogs are dangerous because of the experience was so profound and so painful. And the perception of dogs becomes a sign that is causing a threat. So when that person see a dog, the unconscious mind detects it as a threat to that person and will tell the conscious mind consciously stay away from dogs. So that's just one example. If you have listened to my last episode or watched the last video, you knew how powerful our unconscious mind is. And although it is our conscious mind that takes in all the incoming information, the interpretation of the messages and the information are done on the unconscious level. So, for example, you're listening to me right now using your conscious mind. It's trying to make sense of what I'm saying, how the sentence is structured. But the interpretation of what I said is done by your unconscious mind. You might want to look at it this way. Your unconscious mind is the backseat driver who gives commands to your conscious mind. So to respond, to react, and behave to the environment. It's a giant data bank that absorbs and stores all of your experience unconsciously. You don't even know. It uses its filtering system to create your belief system. And your belief system influences your perception and the interpretation of the world and what is happening around you. And consider someone who has experienced trauma in their past. Their unconscious mind direct their conscious mind to keep an eye out for any potential threats that could bring back that negative emotion or trigger that unpleasant feelings. All right. So eliminating a limiting belief is like changing a habit. And keep in mind that it is an old habit that you are trying to change. Your powerful and loyal unconscious mind might not agree with you at the beginning because it is a risk that you're taking. It's something new, uncomfortable, and we don't like that. So at first, you might feel uncomfortable because your unconscious mind is trying to stop you from trying something new in case you get hurt. So here, let me show you the 5-step process to crush a limiting belief for good. Okay, number 1, challenge it. When a limiting belief comes up, acknowledge it and read the belief out loud and ask yourself, do I really know this is true? Have I experienced this myself enough times so I'm confident and for sure knowing what I believe is true? Do you really take this belief as it is without asking questions? So that's the first step. Step number 2, ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Where did I get it from? So for example, you believe that you'll never get out of debt. You have money problem, your finance in jeopardy. So did your belief and value about money come from a family member maybe, or a friend who may not understand your situation? How reliable the source is? How reliable? How much you should trust that? Your beliefs should come from your own personal experience and from someone or a source that are trustable. Okay, so question the source of the belief. Where did it come from? Should I trust that? So step number 3, simply just say to yourself, I choose not to believe this. I choose not to believe it anymore. Okay, it's not true. It might sound stubborn, but by stating your intention has a profound effect. It might change your mindset and to create something you would have never thought of. Okay? Set yourself free from this limiting belief. Tell yourself that you choose not to believe it anymore. It's not true. And after you say that, I choose not to believe this anymore, it's not true, look for supporting evidence to prove that old belief is wrong. It's not true. Okay. And imagine how much your life would change if you don't have this belief in your life. What would your life change if you don't believe this? So after that, step number 4 is to create a new belief that serves you. Okay? The old belief has stopped you from taking risks, trying something new, growing, reaching your goals. Now, you have to replace that old belief with something new. The easiest way to do is to make an opposite statement. If you believe you're too old to start a business, for example, flip it around, but use positive and present tense statements like, I can have my own business at my age. Okay, so flip that statement around and find examples and evidence to support this new belief. Okay, there got to be example out there to support this belief. Okay? And really, really try to prove that is true. Imagine you have to prove it to your friend, prove it to someone else that your new belief is true, is accurate. How do you convince this person? Do you collect enough evidence that to support that your new belief is true? If you remember from the last episode of the video, your unconscious mind is listening to you all the time. If you give it the same message over and over again, what will happen? It will believe it is what you value and will start collecting evidence to support you and prove you right. Okay. So step number 5, each day check in with yourself. How do you feel about your new belief? How do you feel about your old belief? How do you feel inside? Are you still scared or are you comfortable? Is your behavior changing? If your beliefs change, your perception changes. And our lives and feelings are a manifestation of our beliefs. What you believe, you become. Have you noticed any behavioral change? So take the time to put these 5-step process to use with your limiting belief and be patient with it. Remember, you're trying to change an old thinking habit, right? Anticipate resistance from your unconscious mind. You're trying something new. You're pushing your limit, making yourself uncomfortable. And there's a tool that I often use with my client when they are practicing this 5-step process in crushing their limiting belief. It is the 7-day journaling workbook. This workbook comes with prompting questions to help you get started if you've never or not used to doing journaling. And there are different themes each day. For example, Monday is for motivation, Tuesday is for transformation. Okay. And it also comes with different kind of art activities. You might want to use the mood tracker like this one to help you document your mood as you work through the 5 steps process that I just showed you. And use this as a tool to check in and reflect on how you feel when you are rewriting your limiting belief. And you can just go to the link below to download this workbook for free. So go ahead and use that 5-step process to crush that limiting belief. Use this 7-day journaling workbook to document the changes, document your transformation. And I want to hear from you too. So email me and let me know how it turns out. Talk to you next time.